This is John Kohler with GrowingYourGreens.com. Today I'm on another field trip. I love taking field trips so much, and we're in the middle of a city. Here are these warehouse buildings. We're at a nice, unique place. It's actually called Got Sprouts. Their website is gotsprouts.com, and we're going to show you how you could even grow food in a warehouse, industrial warehouse building. And how does that relate to growing food at your house? Well, winter is coming up and it'll be here before we know it. We're here in South Florida, and winter never hits South Florida here. It's always nice in South Florida. But anyways, the point is winter's coming up and you may not be able to grow in the winter time where you live. But you could definitely grow in your house, and if they could grow in an industrial warehouse, you could absolutely grow in your own house. And what that is, you could grow is sprouts. Sprouts are very nutrient dense and really good foods for us. So we're going to go into Got Sprouts and see how they could support you in growing sprouts. And even if you're too lazy and don't want to grow your own, they'll even ship it to you overnight. So let's go inside. So let's come inside and check this place out. All right, so we're entering the Got Sprouts. You can see they sell sprouts. They'll ship them overnight. You could pick them up here in South Florida. They also sell supplies that allow you to grow sprouts in your home. So they have the special, trays here to grow the sprouts, which are standard nursery trays, but they're a little bit different than nursery trays. I have many of these flats in my own garden that I use that I get from nurseries, but most of them have big, large holes, which aren't good for growing sprouts. These ones have the small holes. But if you do have the ones with a lot of holes, what I'll do is usually just put a piece of newspaper down and then still growing it. But you can get these special trays if you want the good special trays to grow. And they also have special seeds, so all the seeds they sell here are organic. So we have here some pea greens, and these are ready to be harvested now. You could grow these year-round inside, as well as these sunflower sprouts here. They're probably my favorite. And also the wheatgrass. So you may have heard of wheatgrass, and we're going to show you how to grow wheatgrass today. It's real simple and real easy. They also sell basically a sprouted bean mix, which actually you don't even need to grow in flat or anything. You just take some seeds and germinate them, and when they have little tails on there like that, they're ready to be harvested. And that is considered growing your own food. You're still germinating them. And we have a special treat. Sean's going to actually show us how to grow the sprouts. So besides just selling the sprouts, he is dedicated to educating the public on how to grow their own sprouts so that everybody could grow their own sprouts in their home. And he's here to assist. And also, if you don't want to, he'll sell you the sprouts. So he's actually going to take us in the back. We're going to show you the warehouse and show you how they grow under fluorescent lights in a warehouse in South Florida. It's amazing. All right, so now we're walking back into the warehouse here at Got Sprouts. And check it out. This is literally a warehouse. You can see the brick walls on the end there and the big tall roofs. And they got some full spectrum fluorescent lighting. And that's literally all they're growing under, full spectrum fluorescent lighting. They got a nice air conditioner, some fans in here to keep the temperature constant. And they got all these sprouts growing in here. All right, Sean, so why don't you tell us here about the warehouse where you're growing, and then also I guess maybe we're going to show us how you grow, right?
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Well, again, the reason why we picked a storefront to be able to grow in here for is we want to keep the environment as regulated as possible. Sprouts grow in best between 75 and 80 degrees, and you keep them aerated so you keep the mold and mildew at the very minimum level. So this is why we decided to do this. It's very simple with full spectrum lighting, and as long as you keep the airflow going well, it's really a great place to do it. So come on back.
All right. So we're in the warehouse at Got Sprouts, and they have just racks and racks and racks of sprouts growing. You can see a bunch behind me. We have some sunflower greens and wheatgrass, and walking in here reminds me of walking in a greenhouse. I'd love to just set up a cot and then sleep in here for all the oxygen that the sprouts make.
I've done that.
Serious, it's so cool. They got a bathroom, man. I could hey, you want to rent out space?
Exactly. You got a lot of space here. It's great.
They got the full spectrum lighting in here. Hey, I could get a tan too, and
not so much. Not so much with the tan.
So, anyways, today. Sean's going to share the trade secrets of growing sprouts with us so that you can do it in your own home. Although if you don't want to do it, he is available and they'll ship them to you overnight,
We will.
But yeah, so he's going to show us how to grow wheatgrass. It's very simple and very easy. And you could buy the wheatgrass seeds from him, and he has a special variety. Or you could actually go down to your local health food store and get the hard winter wheat, although you might have more problems with it sprouting because that's not a certified sprouting seed. And there is a difference between sprouting seeds and just general seeds that you actually use to grind up and make your breads, for sure. So let's go ahead and turn it over to Sean, and he's going to show us how to grow some wheatgrass.
All right, John, I appreciate it. One of the things I do have to tell you is the same thing you just brought up. The seed is the most important thing that you're going to be working with. Get a nice organic seed wherever you can find it, wherever you are in the United States. Find a very good organic seed. That's what we sell here at God Sprouts. That'll take care of any other problems you may have. If you run into mold, you run into anything else, it's usually because of the seed. So that's the first thing you want to start with. We have a very, very fine organic hard red winter wheat seed that we offer here at God Sprouts. Definitely would recommend it. If you can't find any other seeds in your area, give us a call. We'll be glad to take care of it. Just going to show you a real quick way to sprout. It's not really hard to do, especially if you're in an apartment or if you're in a home. Start off with a couple different trays just to show you the different size trays that you have and what it will grow for you. The first one here is what they call a 10 by 10 or a 10 by 11 tray. It's a square tray, very small. It's got small little holes in them on the bottom here, which is pretty easy to use. This will grow you about a pound of wheatgrass when it's all said and done for you. So that's something to keep in mind. Then you have the 10 by 20 trays over here, and we have the holes. Ones with the holes, so it aerates, great for the water drainage to go through. And there's also the ones with no holes. And this is great if you're growing in an apartment or at home and you can fit 2 of these trays in. The 10 by 10 will fit 2 of them, so you can grow 2 pounds of product. Maybe you want to grow a wheatgrass, maybe you want to grow a sunflower. That's fantastic. Also, if you want to grow the larger trays, if you're just doing wheatgrass like we're going to be doing in a few minutes, you can grow a 2-pound tray, which is a 10 by 20 tray here.
So that's so like it won't leak, right? You can water it, then it'll just be in here, then you just kind of take this out and pour it out so it doesn't leak all over your kitchen floor, right?
And make it
wow, that's great.
Just like you have a little plant at home.
Yeah, right.
Just make sure you water it real good at night, and it should be fine. Next thing we have is the large grass trays. These are 17 by 17s. These will grow up to about 3 to 4 pounds of wheatgrass for it, and obviously more than that than sunflower. Sunflower weighs a little bit more. So those are the different trays that you can get. Anything will work if you have a tray, takeout tray. You poke some holes in the bottom. That'll work too. Any different ways you can do it. Keep it simple is our whole idea.
Yeah, cafeteria trays work really well. You know, they're not quite as deep, but they'll still work.
Yep.
In a pinch.
Yep. So let me show you just basically what we do here at God Sprouts on a daily basis. We do a lot of this stuff. You want to find a good, rich, organic soil is also very important. Try to stay away from the stuff with Miracle-Gro and things like that. They're great soils, but I wouldn't recommend them for growing food, for what we're going to be doing here. So you want to find that. You want to put about 2 inches of dirt in the bottom of the tray. Then take one of these trays. This is a secret. You guys ready? Put it on top. Pack it in there real good, nice and tight. So that makes a nice little, what they call a mat or a pad if you want. A nice, really tight knit dirt there for you. And then you're going to take your wheatgrass seed and you're going to soak it overnight. This is an easy way to do it.
So how long? 12 hours, 8 hours?
12 hours is all you really need to. Soak it overnight.
And guess what they use to soak their wheatgrass in? My longtime viewers will know, a 5-gallon bucket.
And it works well. I haven't found anything that's more perfect than that, but we keep looking for stuff. But yeah, that's an easy way to do it. If you're at home, a pitcher, a really great idea you can do is take a plastic pitcher, drill some holes in the bottom of it, put it in a solid pitcher at the top of it. You put the wheatgrass in it, soak it overnight, and next morning pull that up and it'll work as a strainer for you.
Wow.
So you never have to touch the seeds. Pull them out, rinse them out really good. And again, once you're done soaking this overnight, this is actually still soaking. You can see how it's getting a little bit larger for you. Once it absorbs all that water, you want to rinse it out really good for about, I'd say about 4 or 5 hours after you're done with the rinsing.
So you rinse it for 4 or 5 hours, you rinse it and then let it set.
Oh, let it set.
Okay, so you rinse it really good, then let it set for 4 to 5 hours.
Correct. And then what we normally do is we rinse out 2 or 3 times during the day, so you make sure it's very well rinsed. And we also, if you're into the alkaline water and things like that, one other little trick you can do, take some acid water. 2.5 will work really well. That kills all the bacteria and everything. So it's a good way to kind of clean your seed before you lay it out. So it's just another idea for you. But anyway, you take, so you got your wheatgrass, and this is what the things that guys really like. They like to get their hands dirty. So this is the fun part.
All right.
We're gonna, first of all, we got our dirt. We've already laid that out for us. My hands are still clean, so you know I didn't do that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a wheatgrass, usually about 1.5 cups. We'll do a 10 by 20 tray. We're going to use about 1/2 cup here. And you don't just pour vigorously. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be perfect with it. I've had people actually take 1 seed at a time and I said, you're killing me. So you just want to cover the soil, basically, is what you're looking to do. And you don't really want to overlap the seed as much as possible. So you're going to sprinkle that out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. And just kind of cover it really fine. Try to cover up all the dirt as much as you can. For the 10 by 10 trays, you're probably going to use about 1/2 cup, or excuse me, 1/2 pound of seed. For a 10 by 20 tray, you're going to use about 3/4 pound, and then for a 17 by 17 tray, you're going to use a whole pound of seed.
So is that like pre-soaked weight that you
Yeah.
start with?
Yeah.
Because when you soak them, actually they'll start to weigh more.
Pre-soaked,
I'd say, okay,
right.
perfect, excellent.
Yep, good point. Okay, so you want to put them out nice, and you'll see how I kind of laid them out nice and easy.
Yeah, looks good. I can barely see any soil, so the goal is to not overlap them, but just get them so you can't see the soil, right?
Right, yeah.
All right, cool.
And it's all about love here. So this is basically what it looks like. You're going to have it nice and covered there for you. And then what you want to do after that is you want to trick them like they're underground. So what we do is we rinse them out really good at this point, so they're nice and wet and they're getting settled into their new home there in the dirt. And then you want to take a tray and you want to put it over the top of them. And this will actually trick the seeds like they're underground, and it also keeps them moist, which is also the most important thing. And in climate areas, let's say like Florida, if you're growing it in-house or if you're growing in an apartment or anywhere else that has air conditioning, you want to water this heavy in the morning and you want to spritz it at night just to keep the seeds moist at all times. The next phase you're going to be looking at is when the seeds start pushing up, they'll push this tray up where you can actually see the grass. At this point, the grass is yellow, and you want to take the tray, flip it over, once it's pushed up there, and this will grow up another 2 or 3 days until it pushes this up. And then when you take this off here, your grass will be about this tall, it'll be yellow, this is when it starts greening up, and for another 3 to 5 days, it'll grow up to about 7 to 8, 9 inches. So you really get a really great harvest of your wheatgrass, especially if you've got a great seed, you're really gonna get some really juicy wheatgrass. And then when you actually harvest it, you're looking for what they call the jointing stage. That's when the wheatgrass, I don't know if I have any just ready here. I'll just kind of give you a little format here. That's when the second leaf is just coming off the first wheatgrass blade. And as soon as that comes off, you want to cut the entire tray, put it in a Ziploc bag, or a green bag is really good to do, and keep it in the refrigerator. It'll last you about 7 to 10 days. If you're doing 2 ounces of wheatgrass, you'll go through that in a week, so you'll have it well gone before you finish it. But that's kind of the simple whole process of doing wheatgrass.
Wow, yeah, it sounds real simple, real easy. So how much wheatgrass juice would this yield?
10 by 10 tray will give you about a pound, so you're looking at 10 to 12 ounces. And of course, it also depends on the juice you're
Right,
using.
sure. Awesome, great. Yeah, so wheatgrass is primarily used, to juice because it is very fibrous. So you can also take it and just chew it like, for a while, like a cow. Pretend you're a cow, you'll be doing pretty good. But otherwise, this same technique, you could grow, right?
Pea greens, you can grow
Pea
sunflowers.
greens, sunflowers, the same exact way. So just substitute this seed for sunflowers and the same exact thing, right? The same thing with putting that over there and then flipping it over. And
Sunflower's a little bit different. That's a tricky animal there. But sunflower's a little bit different. There's you might want to put a little more weight on this, so you may fill it in another tray full of dirt, or you might want to put a book on it or a brick or whatever will work for you, put some pressure on it. And basically, sunflower seeds are so strong that you could actually stand in that tray. If you stood on it for 24 hours, eventually it'll push you up.
Oh, yeah.
That's how strong these things grow. So vibrance is what you're looking for. You want a nice, good, juicy seed and good, juicy sprout when you're done.
Right, great.
Now let's tell a funny story
All right.
that you were telling me when you were bringing about chewing on grass. Been working late nights a few times here at the greenhouse, and I'll be chewing on wheatgrass. I'll go home, I can't sleep. And my wife goes, "What have you been doing? How come you can't sleep? Did you have coffee or something?" I said, "No, I don't drink coffee." She goes, "What happened?" I said, "I'm chewing on wheatgrass all night." So you can't sleep. You're all wide awake, ready to go. It's all that oxygen going into your body, so that's why we do it.
Yep, sprouts are definitely good stuff. Whether you're gonna, chew on them or juice them
Chew
or
on 'em,
eat them in
however
your salad, however you could get them in. It's another thing that you could grow in your house, whether you have a warehouse, a regular house, a townhouse, or even an apartment. You could grow sprouts in your house and grow your own food. Take that step, especially in the winter time, because it's going to be here before we know it, and most people unfortunately can't grow year round. So I hope you've enjoyed the time here today at Got Sprouts. And I have a whole bunch of sunflower greens with me, and I was going to say, hey, Got Sprouts? No, just kidding. So anyways, I had fun here, and I'm grateful for Sean for showing us around. Once again, if you need to buy some seeds or want to learn more about growing sprouts, you can visit their website, gotsprouts.com. They have a really cool DVD that either is out or going to be out soon that takes you through the process, even more step-by-step than what we did just here. That was the basic introductory course to get you up and growing as fast as you can, but they have lots of other accessory seeds, and they'll even ship you the fresh sprouts if you don't want to do it yourself. So once again, this is John Kohler with growingyourgreens.com, and keep on growing and keep growing some sprouts. They're good stuff.